Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are really zeroing in on a country that's just got one of the most compelling stories of transformation in modern travel. We're talking Colombia.
Absolutely. For decades, the general idea of Colombia, it was often painted with this brush of caution, right? A history of conflict.
Yeah, definitely.
But what our sources are showing now, and frankly, what millions of travelers have found out for themselves, is this incredibly vibrant reality. It's built on, sunshine, deep cultural pride, and this hospitality that hits you right away.
That anecdote about the pineapple slice, right? Just
Yeah.
immediate warmth.
Exactly. And the change, it's been so fast, so profound, almost unbelievable, really.
It really is. And that speed, that shift, it means that your standard travel guide, it's often out of date almost the second it hits the shelves.
Which is precisely why we're doing this, a full analytical deep dive. Because Colombia, it's this land of huge extremes,
Yeah.
geographically, culturally. You've got these cool, high-altitude cities in the Andes.
Like Bogota.
Right. Then, boom, you're down in the rhythmic, humid air of the Caribbean coast, Cartagena. And that's not even mentioning the Amazonian parts. It's massive.
So our mission today, for you, the listener, is to really break down what's happening now. We're digging through all the sources, analyzing the hard logistics, getting there, getting around.
Looking at accommodation choices, what you should really expect to spend budget-wise, the absolute must-see spots.
And crucially, the safety advice. But the contemporary stuff, the granular details you need to actually understand what it's like on the ground today.
Yeah, we're trying to move beyond just the pretty pictures, get into the practical, informed stuff you need for planning.
Okay, let's get into it. Section 1, logistics. Getting there and getting around. So flying in. What's the main gateway experience like?
Well, the primary way internationally is Bogota's El Dorado International Airport. That's BOG. And it is massive. It's modern, super efficient, actually one of the busiest airports in all of South America.
Yeah.
So if you're flying in from North America, say Miami, New York, Toronto, chances are that's going to be your first stop.
And the connections are good, I gather. But there's that big factor right off the bat. Altitude.
Ah, yes. You have to mention it.
Bogota sits at, what, over 8,600 feet? So BOG might be sleek and modern, but that thin air. It can hit you the moment you step off the plane, something you absolutely have to factor in. We'll talk more about dealing with that later, though.
That's a critical point. And while BOG gets the bulk of the long-haul flights, if you're coming from the U.S., especially the South or the Caribbean, definitely look at the secondary airports, too.
Right, like Medellin.
Exactly. Medellin's Jose Maria Cordova, MDE. It's another big international airport, though it's a bit outside the city itself, a really popular alternative.
And then there's Cartagena's Rafael Núñez, CTG.
CTG is interesting. It's practically in the city.
Oh, really? That close?
Yeah. So if your main goal is just hitting that Caribbean vibe straight away, maybe the beaches, flying into Cartagena means you can be checking into your hotel like 30 minutes after clearing customs. That's a huge plus compared to landing inland at high altitude.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Budget and bureaucracy. Visas. What do most listeners need to know?
Good news, mostly. For citizens of the U.S., Canada, the UK, the EU, generally, you don't need a visa for tourist stays. Up to 90 days is the standard.
And paperwork. Minimal.
Pretty minimal. A valid passport obviously needs at least 6 months left on it. And technically, proof of an onward ticket, though honestly the sources confirm they don't often ask for that onward ticket proof anymore, unless maybe you're crossing a land border.
Good to know. What about budget airlines? I heard there was some shakeup recently.
Yeah, there was. Viva Air, which was a major low-cost player, actually ceased operations.
Oh, wow.
Which you'd think might reduce competition, drive prices up. But airlines like Wingo and the TAM, they've really stepped in. So the price competition, especially on those popular domestic routes, it's still pretty keen.
So still worth shopping around aggressively then.
Definitely. Always compare prices. And here's a little detail maybe for the more seasoned traveler. Watch out for the Colombian exit tax.
Exit tax. How does that work?
Well, sometimes it's bundled into your international airfare, especially if you book with a major international carrier. But if you're flying out on a domestic airline or one of the budget carriers, you might need to double check if that fee, it's usually around $40 US, needs to be paid separately at the airport.
Ah, okay. You don't want that surprise when you're trying to leave.
Exactly. Forewarned is forearmed, right?
So once you're actually in Colombia, getting around within the country, this is where the character of each city really comes out, isn't it? And the differences are pretty stark.
Oh, absolutely. Let's start with Bogota and its Transmilenio system.
Right. The bus rapid transit, the BRT.
Conceptually, it's smart. dedicated bus lanes, so it should bypass traffic jams. And often it does. But the sources are spot on. It gets incredibly crowded.
Why is that? Just volume.
Volume and also the way it's designed. It relies on a few main trunk lines, and the stations, the entry and exit points, they just become bottlenecks, especially during rush hour, peak commuter times.
And it's not like you can just jump on, right? You need a specific card.
That's right. You need the Tulava card. It's a prepaid smart card. You have to buy one and load it up with credit if you plan on using the system. Can't pay cash on the bus.
So get that sorted early if you plan to use it.
Definitely. And trying to navigate it at peak times, it's an experience in human compression, let's put it that way. But it is still the cheapest way to get across that huge, sprawling city.
Okay, so that's Bogota. Now contrast that with Medellin.
No, night and day. Medellin's metro system. It's genuinely South America's only true rapid transit metro. And it is a massive source of civic pride there. You can feel it.
How so? What makes it stand out?
It's famously clean, like spotless, incredibly safe. And the integration is brilliant. It really sets a benchmark for public transport, not just in Colombia, but regionally.
And it's not just the trains, right? There's that other innovative part, the Metrocable.
The Metrocable,
Yeah.
yes. These are basically cable cars, but they're fully integrated into the same fare system as the metro. They climb right up the steep hillsides surrounding the city.
Wow.
And this isn't just for tourists, though the views are breathtaking. This was critical social infrastructure. It connected communities up on the hills, often poor, previously isolated areas, directly to the economic opportunities downtown. It was transformative.
So it's a must-do experience just for the ride and the views, but also understanding its impact.
Absolutely. But okay, that's within cities. What about traveling between them?
Right. Time versus cost, the classic dilemma.
Exactly. Buses are everywhere. The network is extensive, generally very affordable, and the quality varies. You can get older local buses or really plush executive-style coaches for the longer hauls, like overnight journeys.
But you save money at the expense of time, especially with those mountain roads.
Precisely. Those roads wind a lot,
Oh.
which is why domestic flights are super popular, especially if you're tighter on time.
Which airlines are key for that?
Avianca, LATAM, Wingo again. They run constant flights connecting the main hubs. Bogota, Medellin, Cartagena, Cali. What might be a 10 or 12-hour bus ride, maybe more with stops, is often just a smooth 45-minute flight, worth considering the trade-off.
Definitely. Okay, city movement again. Taxis, ride sharing. What's the preference?
The sources are pretty clear on this. Ride-sharing apps are generally what travelers prefer now. Uber, Didi, Cabify, they're widely used.
Why the preference?
Mostly transparency. You get the price upfront, fixed. There's a digital trail, accountability, something you don't always get with street taxis.
Even though Uber's legal status has been a bit murky at times.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. It's often operated in this sort of legal gray area, classified more as a technology platform connecting private drivers rather than a formal transport service. It's a workaround for local regulations sometimes.
But for you, the traveler, the practical reality is.
It's available, it works, and you know the fare beforehand, which is a big comfort factor.
So, what if you do need to grab a regular street taxi? Any precautions? Especially in Bogota.
Yes, definitely exercise some prudence there. Always try to make sure it's a registered taxi. Ideally, use a dispatch app like Easy Taxi or have your hotel or restaurant call one for you.
Avoid just flagging one down on a busy street.
If you can, yeah, especially at night. And always confirm the meter is running or agree on the fare before you start the journey. Avoid fare surprises at the end.
Okay, good advice. And this seems like a good place to bring in that crucial local phrase, no dar papaya.
Ah, yes, no dar papaya. You'll hear this everywhere.
Literally, don't give papaya.
Yeah.
What does it actually mean in practice?
It means, quite simply, don't make yourself an easy target. Don't flash your valuables. Don't look lost and vulnerable. It's not about being paranoid. It's just about being street smart. Aware of your surroundings, especially in crowded places, big cities, public transport.
So let's break that down. What does not giving papaya look like for a traveler?
Okay, practical stuff. Secure your phone properly when you're using it out on the street. Don't just hold it loosely, especially near traffic. There are snatch and grab thefts by guys on motorcycles sometimes.
Right.
Wear your backpack on your front in really crowded spots, like markets or on the Transmilenio in Bogota.
Sensible.
Leave the flashy jewelry, the expensive watches at home or in the hotel safe. It's really just baseline, common sense stuff that dramatically cuts down your risk. It's about blending in a bit, not standing out as an obvious, potentially wealthy target.
Okay, that foundation of logistics and awareness, that no dar papaya mindset, it sets us up nicely for Section 2, accommodation and neighborhood vibes. Because where you choose to stay, that's going to massively shape your whole experience in Colombia cities.
Absolutely. The range of places to stay is huge, caters to pretty much every budget and style, but the key is understanding the personality, the vibe of the neighborhood you pick.
Right. Let's start with Bogota again. If you're after that modern,
Totally different layout and feel. The main tourist hub, no question, is El Poblado.
that's where everyone seems to congregate.
Pretty much. High-rise apartments, the most polished international restaurants, big shopping malls, lots of co-working spaces. It's where you'll find the highest concentration of tourists and digital nomads. It's energetic, green, very developed.
But maybe a bit of a bubble, sometimes criticized for feeling less authentically Colombian.
That's the critique, yeah. Which is why many people looking for something a bit more local, but still safe and comfortable, choose Laurelis.
Laurelis, tell me about that.
Laurelis is calmer, more residential, flatter, tree-lined streets. It feels much more authentically paisa. That's the term for people from the Medellin region.
Okay.
It has a fantastic local food scene, but maybe less geared specifically towards tourists. It offers this great balance, still very safe, lots of amenities, but you feel more immersed in the local way of life than in the buzz of Poblado.
Interesting alternative. Okay, let's head to the coast, Cartagena, the walled city. That's the image everyone has, right?
Yeah, that's the postcard, absolutely. A genuine jewel box, those colorful colonial buildings, the bougainvillea spilling over balconies, the atmospheric squares. It's magical.
Oh, there's always a but.
But that magic comes with a premium price tag. The fanciest boutique hotels are here. It's by far the most expensive area to stay in Cartagena, probably in all of Colombia for tourist accommodation.
And crowded, I imagine.
Very crowded, especially in high season. But the sheer beauty and history density, it's unmatched. You just have to accept the cost and the crowds.
Is there a nearby alternative that gives you some of that vibe without the same intensity or cost?
Yes. Gethsemane. It's right next door, just outside the main walls. And Gethsemane has had this incredible renaissance over the last decade or so.
How's it different?
It still has that colonial architecture, but it's infused with amazing street art. Really vibrant public squares that come alive at night with music and food stalls. It's got a great mix of cool guest houses, boutique spots, and social hostels.
So more bohemian, artsy.
Definitely. More bohemian, younger vibe. Significantly cheaper than staying inside the walls, but you can still easily walk to all the main attractions. It's become incredibly popular for good reason.
Okay, let's put some numbers on this. Pricing. You said Colombia is good value. What does that look like?
It really is excellent value. For a comfortable, solid, mid-range hotel, think clean, safe, good location, decent breakfast, you're generally looking at somewhere between $80 to $150 per night.
And that gets you pretty good quality.
Surprisingly good quality often, yes. Reliable service, comfortable rooms.
And if you want to splash out, luxury.
Then the sky's the limit, especially in Cartagena's walled city or Bogota's upscale zones. You'll quickly hit $200, $300, even $400 US or more per night for the top-tier properties.
But what about the other end? Hostels, budget travel.
The hostel scene is huge and generally very high quality. For solo travelers or anyone just looking to be social, a dorm bed is super affordable. Think 15 to 40 US dollars.
And not just dorms, right? Many offer private rooms now.
Yes, that's a key point. A lot of the better hostels have really nice private rooms, often with in-suite bathrooms. It's a great middle ground. You get the social atmosphere and local tips from the hostel staff, but with your own space. Maybe $50 to $70 a night for those.
That sounds like a sweet spot for many. What about Airbnbs or vacation rentals?
Also super popular, especially if you're traveling as a group, a family, or staying longer term. You can find a nice, well-located small apartment in a place like Laurelis in Medellin for maybe $50 to $80 a night.
Can bigger places.
A multi-bedroom place, maybe a villa with a pool near the coast. You're looking at $150 to $300 plus, depending on size and luxury level.
The big advantage there is independence, a kitchen.
Right. Privacy, space, cooking facilities. But there's a trade-off.
Which is?
You lose that direct access to knowledgeable hotel staff. The concierge who knows the best local restaurant that's not in the guidebook, the safest way to get a taxi at night, who can help sort out any immediate problems. For shorter stays, that local expertise from hotel or hostel staff can be incredibly valuable, something to weigh up.
Okay, this is where it gets really exciting for me. Section 3, the must-sees and cultural immersion. The sheer depth of history and nature in Colombia is kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Let's start back in Bogota. What's top of the list?
The absolute essential stop in Bogota has to be the Gold Museum, El Museo del Oro.
Heard amazing things about this one.
And it lives up to the hype. The sources describe it as way more than just looking at artifacts and cases. It's designed as this whole experience, almost ceremonial.
How so?
It holds over 55,000 pieces of pre-Hispanic gold work and other materials. But it's curated to tell the story of gold's significance, spiritual, social, to the Muisca people and other indigenous cultures. The highlight is this reconstructed offering ceremony in a dark, circular chamber. Lights come up slowly, revealing hundreds of stunning gold pieces all around you. It's breathtaking. It tells the story of entire civilizations through their craft.
Wow, it sounds incredible. Okay, what else in Bogota? The big picture view.
For that, you absolutely have to go up Montserrat. It's the mountain peak that looms right over the city center. You can get up via cable car or a funicular railway.
And the view is worth the trip.
Oh, absolutely. It gives you this crucial, almost dizzying perspective on just how enormous Bogota is. It sprawls out beneath you. It's also a major pilgrimage site. There's a church at the top, so it has this religious significance too.
Best time to go.
Sunset is spectacular. Watching the city lights start to twinkle on as darkness falls, it's mandatory. But again, remember that altitude. Take it easy up there.
Good reminder. And while we're in Bogota, exploring La Candelaria on foot.
Essential for the history, the colonial architecture, but pay really close attention to the street art. Bogota has one of the most dynamic, high-quality mural scenes anywhere in the world.
Really? What kind of themes?
A lot of it is deeply political, social commentary, reflecting on Colombia's history, its conflicts, its hopes. You learn so much about the country just by looking closely at the art. A guided walking tour focusing on the graffiti is highly recommended.
Okay, moving over to Medellin. City of Innovation, you called it. What's the site that really tells that story?
That has to be Colombian 13.
Right. This place has an intense history.
Intense is an understatement. In the 80s and 90s, during the height of the conflict and cartel violence, Comuna 13 was infamous. One of the most dangerous, inaccessible neighborhoods maybe in the world.
And today?
Today, its story is one of incredible resilience and transformation. And a key part of that physical transformation was the installation of those public escalators we mentioned earlier.
The outdoor escalators going up the hillside.
Exactly. They replaced hundreds and hundreds of steep, difficult steps. This wasn't just a convenience. It fundamentally changed things. It cut down commute times, increased access to jobs and education, connected the community.
But it's more than just infrastructure, right? The culture changed too.
Massively. The transformation is really sustained by the local culture now. Comuna 13 is this thriving hub. You've got local hip-hop artists, dancers, performers everywhere. And the street art. Huge, powerful murals telling the story of the neighborhood's past trauma, its struggles, but ultimately its rebirth and hope.
Sounds like an absolutely essential visit to understand modern Colombia, how best to experience it.
Definitely go with a local guide or on an organized tour. They can provide the context, ensure you're respectful, and support the community businesses there. It's not really a place to just wander aimlessly on your own first time.
Got it. And elsewhere in Medellin, any other must-sees?
Well, you can't miss Plaza Botero downtown. It's an outdoor plaza filled with these large bronze sculptures by Fernando Botero.
The artist with the voluminous figures.
Used him, his signature style, very unique, instantly recognizable. It's a fantastic public art display, really iconic for Medellin. Great for photos, obviously.
Okay, let's shift to the coast. Cartagena. The walled city itself is the main event, right?
It really is. The experience is just immersing yourself, strolling those incredibly colorful streets, discovering hidden plazas, popping into little shops and cafes, and definitely walk along the top of the old colonial walls, especially at sunset.
Why sunset?
The light is just magical then. It hits the facades of the buildings, the colors pop, you get the sea breeze. It's just the quintessential Cartagena experience.
And if you want to break from the city heat, beaches.
And the Rosario Islands are the classic day trip. They're a cluster of islands just off the coast.
That's the draw.
Pristine Caribbean water, much clearer than the beaches right by the city. Great for snorkeling, swimming, just relaxing on a white sand beach, a necessary escape from the hustle and bustle.
How much does a trip like that typically cost?
You should budget around 50 to 80 US dollars for a decent BERT tour. That usually includes round-trip transport, maybe lunch, and time for swimming or snorkeling at a couple of spots. Look for reputable tour operators.
Okay, now for people who love nature, mountains, something totally different, you said this next region is non-negotiable. The coffee region.
Absolutely non-negotiable. The coffee access or Easy Cafetero, specifically the area around the little town of Salento and the nearby Cocora Valley.
What makes it so special?
It's like nowhere else on Earth, honestly. Picture these incredibly lush, rolling green hills, almost unnaturally green, dotted with traditional coffee farms. Fincas. Salento itself is this charming, colorful little town, the perfect base.
But the main event is the Cocora Valley.
The Cocora Valley is the star. This is where you find Colombia's national tree, the Quindio wax palm.
And these are tall.
Tall is an understatement. They are the tallest palm trees in the world. They soar upwards, incredibly slender, reaching heights of over 60 meters. That's almost 200 feet.
Wow.
And they're set in this mystical-looking valley, often shrouded in clouds or mist. Hiking amongst them. It feels like you've stepped onto the set of Jurassic Park or something. It's surreal and beautiful.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
What about activities there? Coffee tours? Hiking?
Both are essential. Taking a guided tour of a working coffee farm is fascinating. You learn the whole process from bean to cup. And it's super affordable, like $20, $30 US.
And the hiking in Cocora Valley?
The main hiking loop is fantastic. It takes you right through the valley with the palms, often through cloud forest too. It's mostly free, though some trailheads might ask for a tiny entrance fee. You can also hire horses for part of it if you prefer.
Any other unique local experiences there?
Yes. You have to ride in the Willys Jeeps. These are old-school U.S. Army Jeeps, brightly painted, and they're the main form of transport for locals and tourists alike, bouncing along the bumpy roads connecting Salento and the valley. It's a quintessential coffee region experience.
Sounds fun. Okay, one more natural wonder, Tayrona National Park. Back on the Caribbean coast, what's the vibe there?
Tayrona is where the jungle meets the sea. It's this stunning mix of dense tropical rainforest, huge ancient boulders, really pristine beaches like the famous Cabo San Juan, and also important archaeological sites linked to the ancient Tayrona indigenous culture.
So jungle trekking and beach time combined.
Exactly. You hike through the jungle trails, spotting monkeys maybe, and then emerge onto these beautiful, often quite wild beaches.
Anything logistical to know about Tayrona? Restrictions? Costs?
Yes, very important. Tayrona operates with conservation in mind. The park actually closes completely for several weeks a few times a year. This is agreed with the local indigenous groups for ecological recovery and spiritual cleansing rituals, so you must check closure dates before planning your visit.
Okay. And costs? Accommodation?
Entrance for foreigners is around 18 to 25 US dollars. Accommodation inside the park ranges from very basic, literally renting a hammock strung up under a roof on the beach, to more comfortable eco-habs or cabins. It books up fast, especially the popular spots like Cabo San Juan.
Good planning needed there. Now, beyond just seeing sights, what about actively diving into the culture?
Yes, this is key. Don't just be a spectator. If you find yourself anywhere near Cali, which proudly calls itself the world's salsa capital, or even in Medellin or Cartagena, take a salsa lesson.
Is it easy to find classes? Affordable?
Super easy. They're everywhere. Group classes are really common, very welcoming to beginners, and usually only cost around 10 to 20 US dollars for an hour or two. It's so much fun, even if you have 2 left feet.
Good to know. What about food? Beyond just eating it?
Take a cooking class. This is a fantastic way to connect. Learn how to make one of the regional specialties. Maybe ajiaco, that hearty soup in Bogota, or the monster bandeja paisa in Medellin.
How much do those usually run?
Typically around 40 to 60 US dollars, usually includes a market visit to buy ingredients too. It's a great interactive experience, and you come away with a skill, and usually very full.
I bet. And sometimes the best cultural immersion is the simplest, right?
Absolutely. Cannot overlook this. Find a bench in a nice plaza, maybe in Salento or Getsemani in Cartagena. Order a really good cup of Colombian coffee at Tinto and just sit. Watch the world go by, listen to the conversation, soak up the atmosphere. That's free, and it's often where you feel the most connected.
Okay, we've covered the amazing sights and experiences, but we need to ground this in practical reality. Section 4, practicalities budget, food, and, importantly, caution. Let's talk money first. What's a realistic daily budget?
Right. So for someone looking for a comfortable mid-range trip, not absolute luxury, but not bare bones backpacking either, think nice private rooms, maybe a few domestic flights, eating well. We estimate a realistic daily spend of around 60 to 120 US dollars per person.
And that really highlights how affordable Colombia is compared to, say, Europe or North America.
Oh, incredibly affordable. Your money goes a lot further.
Can we break that $60, $120 down a bit? Where does the money go?
Sure, accommodation, like we said, if you're aiming for a good private room in a hostel or a decent mid-range hotel, figure $30 to $60 a night.
Okay.
Food is where you see amazing value. You can genuinely eat 3 good filling meals a day, plus coffees and snacks, for probably $15 to $30. Seriously.
That's fantastic. Activities.
Activities and tours, museum entries, maybe a guided walk. That salsa class probably average out to $10 to $30 a day, depending on what you're doing.
And local transport. Getting around cities.
Using the metros, buses, maybe a few ride shares or taxis, probably only $5 to $10 a US a day. It's very cheap.
What about cash versus cards? What's the balance?
You definitely need cash. While credit cards are widely accepted in bigger hotels, fancier restaurants, and supermarkets in the cities, you'll want Colombian pesos for smaller local restaurants, markets, street food, bus fares, small shops, especially outside the main tourist zones.
So carry a decent amount of cash. What about ATMs?
ATMs are widespread, but the fees can be quite high, both from the local bank and potentially your home bank. It often makes sense to withdraw larger amounts less frequently to minimize those transaction costs.
Good tip. Use ATMs at reputable banks during daylight hours, ideally inside the bank lobby for safety.
Exactly. Standard precautions. And carry the cash securely, maybe split it up. Don't flash big wads of bills. Again, no dark papaya.
Right. Now, let's talk more about that amazing food value, the culinary scene. You mentioned regional specialties. What are the absolute must-try dishes?
Okay, in Medellin and the Antioquia region, it has to be the bandeja paisa.
The legendary platter.
Legendary and enormous. It's not just a meal, it's like a statement of regional identity. You get rice, beans, grilled steak or ground beef, maybe chorizo, a fried egg, avocado slices, a sweet plantain, and the star, a big piece of crispy pork belly, chicharron.
Sounds like you wouldn't need to eat for the rest of the day.
Pretty much. It was designed to fuel farmers for a long day's work. It's intense but delicious. You have to try it once.
And in Bogota, the cooler climate.
There, the iconic dish is ajiaco. It's this really comforting, hearty soup made with chicken and 3 different kinds of potatoes, which gives it this unique, thick texture. And the key herb is guascas.
Guascas. Never heard of it.
It gives it a very distinct flavor. They usually serve it with sides of heavy cream, capers, and avocado to stir in. It's perfect for a chilly Bogota day.
Sounds lovely. What about street food?
Yeah.
Snacks.
Oh, you're surrounded by amazing snacks. Arepas are everywhere. These are round cornmeal patties. You can get them plain or grilled with butter and salt or stuffed with cheese, arepa de queso, or egg, arepa de huevo, especially on the coast.
Okay.
Empanadas, of course, little fried pastries usually filled with meat or potato. And pataconos, slices of green plantain, fried, smashed flat, then fried again until crispy, often served as a side dish, especially with fish on the coast. Salty and delicious.
My mouth is watering already.
Yeah.
Any advice for adventurous eaters? Fruit.
Yes. Go to a local market. Palacamao in Bogota is amazing. The variety of fruit is just staggering. Things you've maybe never seen before.
Like what?
Definitely try granadilla. You crack it open, scoop out the seeds covered in sweet pulp. Lulo, it's tangy, kind of citrusy, makes amazing juice. Maracuya, passion fruit. But Colombian varieties are often intensely flavored. Just point, ask qué es eso, and try stuff.
Love it. And is there a trick for eating really well but super cheaply?
Yes, the magic word is corrientazo.
Corrientazo.
It means current or ordinary, basically the daily set lunch. Look for small local restaurants, often unmarked, that have a chalkboard outside listing the menu del día or corrientazo.
What do you typically get?
It's incredible value, usually under $5 US, sometimes even less. You'll get a bowl of soup to start, then a main plate with a piece of meat or chicken, rice, beans, or lentils, a small salad, maybe some fried plantain, and a fresh fruit juice. Jugo.
Wow, all that for under $5.
Often, yes. It's how most working Colombians eat lunch. Only served at lunchtime, typically 12 to 2 p.m. Find a busy one. Point at what others are having if your Spanish is limited. It's the best way to eat authentically and save a ton of money.
Fantastic tip. Okay, now the necessary transition. Caution and safety. We know Colombia has changed immensely, but vigilance is still key. Back to no dar papaya.
Right. It's the golden rule bears repeating. Be street smart. Don't make yourself an obvious target.
But let's get more specific. What are the main things travelers need to be actively aware of?
Okay, number 1. Avoid walking completely alone late at night, especially in unlit or deserted areas. Even in good neighborhoods, just don't do it.
Transport at night?
Always, without exception, use an app-based ride service like Uber or Didi, or have your hotel restaurant call a registered taxi for you. Never just hail a random cab off the street late at night.
Why is that so critical?
This is where the risk, although much lower than it used to be, of the Paseo Millonario still exists. That's the millionaire's ride or express kidnapping, where criminals force victims to go around to ATMs and withdraw cash. It's almost exclusively linked to hailing unauthorized taxis off the street, particularly at night. App-based services provide a layer of traceability that deters this.
Okay, that's a very clear warning. What about belongings? Phones, cameras?
Digital security is huge. Maybe use a cheaper, simpler phone for navigating on the street. Keep your expensive smartphone secured, perhaps in an inside pocket or money belt, or leave it in the hotel safe if you don't need it.
And in crowded places, markets, buses?
Be super aware of pickpockets. They are often incredibly skilled, work in teams sometimes, keep valuables zipped up, wear bags across your body, maybe on your front in really tight crowds. Just be mindful of who's around you.
Any common scams to watch out for, beyond maybe inflated taxi fares?
Yeah, be wary of overly friendly strangers who approach you out of the blue, especially near ATMs or currency exchange places. Distraction theft is common. Someone accidentally spills something on you, another person tries to help clean it up while a third picks your pocket.
The distraction scam.
Yeah.
Classic.
Right. Also, be cautious if someone offers unsolicited help with luggage, directions, or anything that seems a bit too good to be true. Just politely decline. Trust your gut.
And there's one other specific warning that often comes up: drinks being tampered with.
Yes, unfortunately, this is still a concern, especially in nightlife areas popular with tourists. The use of escopolamina, or scopolamine, sometimes called devil's breath, it renders victims compliant, vulnerable to robbery or assault.
How to guard against that?
Never leave your drink unattended. Don't accept drinks from strangers, even seemingly friendly ones. Buy your own drinks directly from the bar staff and watch them being poured if possible. Be cautious if someone seems overly pushy about you drinking something. It requires vigilance in bars and clubs.
Okay, so the overall message seems to be Colombia is amazing and largely safe if you maintain a higher level of situational awareness than you might need in, say, Western Europe or parts of Asia.
That's exactly it. It's not about being scared. It's about being smart and aware. That awareness is kind of the price of admission for experiencing this incredibly rich, rewarding, and welcoming country. The vast majority of visits are trouble-free.
Right. We've covered a ton of ground: mountains, coasts, logistics, food, safety. Time to bring it home. Section 5, final verdict and insider tips. Before we give our scores, what final pieces of actionable advice can really smooth the journey for someone heading to Colombia?
Okay, my absolute top tip, the thing that will make the biggest positive difference to your interactions. Learn some basic Spanish.
Even just a little bit.
Even just a little bit. Hola, gracias. Por favor, buenos días. ¿Cuánto cuesta? How much is it?
Colombians are incredibly warm and friendly, but making the effort to communicate, even imperfectly, in Spanish. It builds instant rapport. It shows respect. It will open doors and smiles. Don't rely solely on English, even if people in tourism often speak it. Try.
Great advice. What else? Packing.
Layers. Absolutely essential. We touched on it, but the climate difference is drastic. Bogota is high altitude, can be cool, rainy, even in the dry season. You'll want fleeces, maybe a light rain jacket.
And then the coast.
Cartagena, Tirona. Perpetually hot and humid. Light, breathable fabric, shorts, sundresses, swimwear. You need to pack for basically 2 different climates in one trip if you're visiting both the Andes and the coast.
And that altitude in Bogota again. Any more tips for managing it? We said hydrate, take it easy.
Yes, hydrate constantly, water. Really limit alcohol your first day or 2. It hits harder at altitude. Avoid heavy meals right away. And if you feel symptoms, headache, dizziness, nausea, don't push through it. Rest.
What about local remedies? Coca tea. Yes, mat de coca? Coca tea, or just chewing the coca leaves. It's a traditional Andean remedy for altitude sickness. It's widely available, legal, often offered complimentary in hotels in Bogota and other high-altitude areas. Many people find it genuinely helps acclimatize. Worth trying if you're feeling the effects.
Interesting. Okay, any cultural nuances? Politeness.
Politeness is huge. Always greet people when you enter a small shop or restaurant. Buenos días, buenas tardes. Say por favor, please, and gracias, thank you. And listen out for the response when you say thank you. Often it's con mucho gusto.
Con mucho gusto, meaning.
With much pleasure.
Yeah.
It's the standard, very warm way of saying you're welcome. Using it back if someone thanks you or just recognizing it shows you're paying attention to the local courtesy. It's appreciated.
Little things that make a difference. What about timing the trip? Best time to go?
Generally, the dry seasons are considered best. That's roughly December to February, and then again from June to August.
Why dry season?
Less rain means clearer skies, which is obviously better for those amazing views from places like Montserrat, and better conditions for hiking in the coffee region or Tirona. But shoulder seasons can also be great, maybe fewer crowds. Just be prepared for potential rain showers, especially in the Andes.
Okay, so bringing it all together, who is Colombia really for? Who's the ideal traveler for this destination?
Colombia is perfect for the adventurous traveler. Someone curious. Someone who loves culture, history, music, food. It works brilliantly for budget backpackers because it's so affordable, but also for luxury travelers seeking unique boutique experiences.
So a wide range.
A very wide range. If you're excited by vibrant cities, stunning and diverse nature, interacting with genuinely warm people, and maybe being pushed slightly out of your comfort zone, Colombia is fantastic.
And who might want to give it a miss? Or at least think twice.
Perhaps someone who is extremely sensitive to safety concerns and wouldn't feel comfortable maintaining that level of heightened awareness we talked about. Or someone who strictly prefers perfectly polished, entirely predictable, westernized travel experiences.
Because Colombia is.
It's real, it's raw in places. Sometimes it's a little chaotic, things might not always run perfectly on time. But that energy, that reality, that's a huge part of its incredible charm for most people.
Absolutely. And the rewards, if you go prepared and street smart, they seem immense. Which brings us to the final scores. After this deep dive, synthesizing all the info, where do you land?
You know, considering that incredible transformation story, the sheer diversity packed into one country, Andes, Caribbean, coffee regions, cities with such distinct personalities and the amazing value, I'm giving Colombia a solid 9.2 out of 10.
A 9.2. Strong score.
It's a country that really gets under your skin, challenges your perceptions, and genuinely leaves you wanting to go back for more. The resilience is inspiring.
I'm right there with you. Maybe even a touch higher. For me, the combination of the vibrant culture, the music, the history you can feel in places like Cartagena, alongside that absolutely unique, breathtaking nature like the Cocora Valley,
Yeah.
it's just so compelling. I'm going with a 9.5.
9.5, high praise.
It just offers so much. So the conclusion is pretty clear from both of us.
Unanimous, I'd say. Go prepared, be smart, use the tips we've discussed, and just embrace the magic. It's there in abundance.
And that, everyone, wraps up our deep dive into the fascinating, complex, beautiful country of Colombia. We've charted its journey, navigated the practicalities, and hopefully armed you with the knowledge to explore it confidently.
Yeah. Hopefully you're already picturing yourself there. May your travels be safe, maybe your salsa steps get a little sharper, and perhaps you'll soon be sipping a rich tinto in a sun-drenched plaza, dreaming of those impossibly tall wax palms reaching for the clouds in the Cocora Valley, a perfect symbol of colonialism.
Be curious, everyone, and keep exploring.